Biden or Trump?
Venezuela.
Biden?
Biden.
Where are you from? Venezuela?
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
So,
Welcome to another episode of Behind Enemy Lines. So we're going to cover two things today. One, the illegal immigration. It's so hot. And we're going to have some new stuff that we're going to show at the end. And then we're going to show more of San Francisco Downers Grove, the Hamas rally, the Save Hamas rally in Downers Grove. I'm sure the mayor loves those guys too, right?
Yeah. Apparently,
And
apparently the Palestine situation is a hot button topic in Downers Grove, Illinois. You know, we got busloads of illegal immigrants who are not all getting on trains going to Chicago. Some of them are getting in Florida license plate cars, and God knows where they're going, right, Terry? 4 military-age men, to be specific. But apparently what's going on in Palestine is more important to Downers Grove residents. I find it hard to believe. What do you think, Terry?
So we have some video of of these Jewish hating people, and what's interesting is we do have one thing in common with these people that we noticed when we were there. They hate Sean Caston. They hate him. And they're going to go after him. You know, they're even showing up to his events. It's like, I don't even have to do it anymore. And the only reason I'm not going after Sean Caston, by the way, is because Nikki Conforte, she's running for Congress.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a Republican. Obviously, I'd like her to win. But she came up to me at the DGTRO meeting and said, oh, don't mention my name or my campaign because he had those RINO scumbags.
And Terry, refresh my memory. Exactly how much support is she getting from DGTRO? Because if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you have connections with Newsmax, Right Side Broadcasting, Steve Bannon.
And I hate Caston.
I
mean, I'd be pummeling. I'm not going to pummel him. You got it all covered.
So literally access to millions upon millions of viewers, right? But yet her calculus is that you're bad for her, and that this small little organization in Illinois who has no Republican support whatsoever is going to be a better option for her campaign.
Yeah, I have no idea why she said that to me. I mean, it made no sense. But let's see how good Laurel and Hardy. That would be Novak and Bolts, and then Lurch, the minority leader. See how much they do for them to win, get more people out to vote and, win elections and make Sean Casten look bad, because I was confronting him. So I actually kind of missed that, but I'm not going to lift a finger to help somebody who said, don't use my name going forward. You don't have permission to use my name, Terry. No, I'm not gonna go after. So anyway, sorry, I digress.
Yeah.
We'll get back to the reason we're here.
Well, I wanted to point out that I think the reason that we wanted to play that video, we live in, Terry lives right next door. I live in Downers Grove. And on the same day, we had this Free Palestine protest, and I had gone there. Terry had met me there. We were, in fact, actually
we were illegal immigrating. We were hunting for illegals.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We found
the Palestine protest. I mean, I just want to point out the absurdity of the present situation that we're in the United States of America. I've never seen anybody or met anybody in the town of Downers Grove that thinks that the Palestine situation is such a problem that they have to protest. It's interesting to me, Terry, that all of a sudden I start seeing these protests, and they're coming from the left, right? So Terry and I are talking about our congressional representative from the 6th District, Sean 6th District, right? Yeah. Sean Casten,
Marxist,
who's a Marxist, an avowed Marxist, and supports stripping the rights away from parents and pornography in schools and libraries, right? And taking away your guns and all the leftist the leftist ideals. And he's a radical leftist, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Radical leftist, born with a silver spoon in his mouth. I just saw his parents selling their Hinsdale home for $3.5 million, right? Like, born with a silver spoon. This guy has no perspective whatsoever on the working class, which his party's supposed to support.
Climate change guy wants to stifle our industry in the United States.
Wants to destroy America, right? Wants to take away your civil rights. Wants to take away your First Amendment rights with this book ban bill thing, because he claims that it's a book ban bill, but it does the exact opposite. It gives the government the right to propagandize. So these leftists think that what people want is further left. They ignore the fact that we're getting invaded in our own hometown, which is wholly unprecedented. I can be pretty sure that it's never happened that we've had illegal immigrants bust into Downers Grove.
Yeah, I think there's two candidates running against Casten in the primary. It's I think an electrician and a Muslim woman from Burr Ridge.
Oh, a Muslim?
Yeah, and what's interesting, he's going to have to spend some money. And that's probably staged from the Muslim friends that are trying to get her in. I don't think she's going to win. But
on that note, Terry, Jason, you want to play a little clip, like a little 30-second clip? I just find this interesting that there's a Muslim woman running, trying to primary him, right? Yeah, go ahead. No, I want to play the 30-second Sean Casten chant.
Do you guys like my chant? I've been working on it all evening.
Here we go.
Genocide and war.
Genocide and war.
What is Casten standing for?
What is Casten standing for?
Genocide
She is a
and
whore.
war.
Genocide and war.
What is Casten standing for?
What is Casten standing for?
Genocide and war.
Genocide and war.
Yeah. So genocide and war. What is Casten standing for? And I guess, Terry, my point here is this just shows how out of touch leftists are. Yeah. It's like all of the issues happening in our country, and this is what they decide. They decide, like, hey, here's their political calculus to get this Muslim woman in office, is like all of a sudden you see a bunch of Palestinian protesters in front of the Democratic organization's office in downtown Downers Grove, and then you have this little protest. And the reason that Terry and I went, I called them up. I'm like, I see this thing, and I'm thinking, like, I'm thinking, like, I don't recognize any of these people. I mean, maybe some from Downers Grove.
Yes. So real quick on that, you saw quickly this blonde woman that was standing just to the left of Paul. So when I met him there, I'm like, wow, where's all the radical leftist Downers Grove scumbags? There wasn't none in sight, not a one of them.
Yeah.
Because they all support Kasten, right? So that's the last thing they want to be part of. But this blonde pig to the left of Paul was harassing me. Right, I was sitting there with Paul, not doing it. She came with her camera. I don't think we have it for tonight, but she's filming me. I know who you are. You have a reputation.
Yeah.
She's like, you're a proud boy. I'm not a proud boy. I gave her the Proud Boy sign, kind of like to make fun of it, And then she kept getting in our face, trying to stop us from filming.
Yeah, and and the other thing, and this is how unhinged leftists are. We're standing there, and I said to her, I said, like, I did not bother you. Just leave
Paul
me
was
alone.
sticking up for me.
Just leave me alone.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, there she is.
There's it.
And she said that.
Thank you.
And then she started in
You
on
got any
the
pig sounds?
on the. She started on the. Terry mentioned her weight, by the way. She didn't take too kindly to that. But she started in on the school stuff. And I was like, yeah, all right, if you're going to go there, so you support pornography in schools. And so then she started in and about, like, what's your website history? What's your website history? Now, mind you, I've never seen this woman before in my entire life. I have no idea who she is, right?
Paul's on the radar. The leftist now.
The fact that I was videotaping told her, like, I have to go harass this person, right? Yeah. And so then she started calling me a pedophile. So
both of us.
Total unhinged.
Right? It's like, where did that come from?
Complete psychopath.
She said I haven't seen a woman's, you know what?
Right.
Right. I mean, she used a different word.
Yeah.
She said I haven't seen a woman's vagina in years. Which is like, that shows how crazy these people are.
And that's the thing, Terry. And how is that tolerant, by the way? Because, like, their whole thing is that, like, they're anti-fascists, right? Because we're the fascists because we dare to challenge the establishment narratives, right?
Yep. I was being targeted, bullied, and harassed. And it was really scary.
You still are. I mean, do you want to mention?
Oh, what had just happened this week? Yeah, this other scumbag who's probably watching, another liberal scumbag. They saw some of the videos that you guys are seeing here and saying I'm harassing innocent women and children, asylum seekers, and I'm calling them illegals. They are illegals, right? I mean, you guys saw the videos. I was respectful to, these people. I'm not bullying them and stuff. I don't want them here.
You were helping that woman figure out that how she could get to Wisconsin because that's where she said.
And I say this over and over again. My grandparents, my mom's parents, came from Italy, right? And they came legally, came through New York, had to get tested, my mom said, for diseases and things. Mm-hmm. And nobody gave them a penny, nothing. They lived with family members, right? Till they got on their feet. I think they went to Boston, then they came to Chicago. Nobody gave them nothing, let alone housing, food, clothing, phones. Not that they had cell phones back then, but
meanwhile, all these people. I just saw a Twitter post today where this kid was interviewing an illegal immigrant in New York, and he was asking him how, hey, where are you? Are you staying there in the Roosevelt Hotel? And the guy said, yeah, right. He's like, you're getting 3 meals a day. You have a room to stay in. Yep. And get the gift card, a Visa gift card to spend money for clothes and whatnot. And the guy said he'd been there for 7 months. Now, who do you suppose pays for that?
Yeah. Shout out to, I think it was Karen Schmidt that shared that AP image from Chicago, from the land. They call it the landing zone. I was there on New Year's Day in the morning. So they have 3 buses. They're warming buses to keep about 300, I think they said, illegals that are in the train station, and Pritzker's giving $160 million to build these tents and stuff for them there. So anyway, they were interviewing these Hispanic folks, and they were speaking in Spanish and dubbing it down. And this woman had the balls to complain that they had to sleep in the buses sitting up, and they're treating us like criminals. Well, first of all, you are criminals. You illegally entered our country. And then I don't want to hear, Bob Barnett, the the mayor of Downers Grove, as well as these scumbags that are coming after me about the asylum seekers. You know what? They're being coached before they get to our border. They're being coached in our border of what the legal definition of asylum seeker is, and they just regurgitate what they're told, right?
Well,
they regurgitate. And then furthermore, so many of them have been on camera saying they wanted to come here to make a better life. That's nice. I appreciate that. I understand. But you know what? How many people in the whole world want to come here and make a better life? That doesn't justify you just walking in our country illegally ahead of everybody else.
Well, first of all, and to your point about the mayor, like I hear these arguments regarding the semantics of the term illegal, right? Well, I'm sorry, but illegal would be somebody crossing our border without going through the process of applying for asylum before they get to our border, right? That's not happening. So mass groups, in some instances, you know, thousands per day are crossing our border. And so what's actually happening for those people who say, well, technically they're legal because they go through the process of asylum application once they get into Texas. What's happening is the federal government is not enforcing the immigration laws. So yeah, once they get into Texas, like they're forced to do, you know, go through this asylum process, and then of course Texas is shipping them off because they're not going to hold all these, you know, what is it, upwards of 10 million illegal border crossings since Biden's been in office, and God knows if that's accurate, right? Because that's just what they've counted. So the point is that they are illegal because they're entering our country illegally, and they're abusing this asylum process, right? We can't have it. Can't be the fact cannot be that 10 million asylum seekers are coming in the country. Like, I'm sympathetic to asylum seekers, but I don't believe that there are 10 million of them. So just to close the loop on this whole thing. The point that we were trying to make is this is a serious problem. We've never seen this in the suburbs. I'm 41 years old. I've never seen illegal buses of immigrants coming into our train stations. You know, obviously this is an unprecedented situation. And my big point here is to say that this is a huge problem. It's going to destroy the future of our children because of how much it's going to cost. And yet the left thinks that the issue at hand in Downers Grove and DuPage County and Sean Casson District is that he is not left enough on the spectrum, is that we need to solve the problems of Palestine, right? And so we need to move a Muslim woman into his seat so that we can go further left. I mean, it's dystopian.
Sorry. I just love that Muslim chant. Sorry. So I just want to mention Deb Conroy. She's the leftist, DuPage County, chairman?
President of the DuPage County Board.
And, you know, all these supposed RINO Republicans, many of them, they're kissing her ass. Bob Barnett's kissing her ass, right? So she made a statement saying that came out, I think, yesterday, that DuPage County has no legal authority to stop allowing these illegal aliens and gang members,
you want to pull up
some asylum seekers, to use the train stations in DuPage County to traffic them down to Chicago. So where does she get off by making such a bullshit statement and, you know, wanting to donate money? And then Bob Barnett at the board meeting, and Paul confronted him, so, you know, he could talk more about this. But Bob Barnett sent some text messages to people about me. The guy's a liberal piece of shit. He's supposed to be a Republican. He's never done anything to help Republicans. He'll throw scraps. He'll put one person on the board, you know, little nibbles of, you know, of supposedly things that reflect he's not a Republican. He's a liar, and he's calling them asylum seekers. They're legally fit the definition of asylum seekers. None of them are getting off the buses or trains and go. That's a lie. We watched with our own eyes. Yeah. There's Guatemalans jumping, you know, getting off. He also said my responsibility is the residents of Downers Grove.
Oh God, that killed me.
The asylum seekers,
the
travelers. We have to protect the travelers for safe passage to the city of Chicago. Bullshit. Your responsibility is to your residents, just like the president's responsibility is to the citizens of the United States of America. And these two pieces of shits, the president and the local mayor of Downers Grove, are putting others over the safety and security of our people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I went and spoke at the board meeting the other night and addressed this. And
I'm sorry. I swore. I know. I'm trying not to swear. I get a little passionate about this. So, apologize.
And, what do we got there, Jason? Is that some immigration law? Yeah, but to your...
Immigration law, and it strictly says the authority to arrest...
We can't hear you, Jason. Yep, turn on your mic.
Got our producer up there. Come on, buddy.
Yeah,
little,
we got some
little screen time.
Oh, there we go. Okay, you want to highlight what... highlight what... I'll read it to your... what do we got?
Just so you guys know, we got a screen up there, so if you were looking at the ceiling, it's really a screen.
If we look weird. Yeah, to your point on the mayor, he had said a couple crazy things. First of all, he had said that all travelers had continued on, and we have video. We showed video that says that that's not true. What do you got there, Jason? So authority to arrest. Okay, no officer or person shall have authority to make any arrest for violation of any provision of this section, except the officers and employees of the service designated by the Attorney General, either individually or as member of a class, and all other officers whose duty it is to enforce criminal laws. So that's what the authority to arrest illegal immigrants if they cross the border, bringing in and harboring certain aliens, right? Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's aware that this is a totally unprecedented situation. It's so obvious now when they're coming into the suburbs, and I hate to say it that way. When the white liberals are starting to see it, right? Because I mean, so here's what happened in DuPage County. The reason that I'd gone to the board meeting the other night, as Terry referenced, and argued with the mayor. I didn't really get to argue. I made a statement, and then he got all.
Did you spread some COVID when you were there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm full of it. So, yeah, because I didn't get vaccinated. So,
I just got over it.
So I went there, and I made a mistake. He got all his panties got all in a bunch, and he, claimed that it was too bad that we were exercising our First Amendment rights. By the way, apparently he only likes First Amendment rights if it applies to his authority as mayor, I guess. And my point was like, look, this is about safety, right? Because Terry did that outstanding journalist work the other day to show that
investigative
reporting. Yeah. Sorry, thank you for helping me out there.
Joking around, guys.
You did though, and that was great because what he showed was that all these immigrants are not getting on the trains and going to Chicago. They're not all accounted for, and the mayor had said something that was dishonest in the sense that he knew that they were continuing on and they weren't, so he lied. And that was one of the things I wanted to point. But more importantly, it's a safety, Terry. Is like you have an obligation to your citizens to ensure their safety. And when you go and you make these kind of statements that like there's no danger that you see right now to create an ordinance, because that's what's going on in places like Hinsdale, Clarendon Hills, and Joliet. They're making these ordinances to try to stop the buses from coming to their towns. And I don't know if they're going to work or what the effectiveness of them are, but it's your obligation to do something like that because you have no knowledge of the background of the people coming into your town. And then you furthermore don't know that they're leaving your town going to the city.
So New Lenox, I don't know if any of you folks saw that, but New Lenox put in an ordinance where they got to be notified, I think 5 days ahead of time, names of everybody. But here's the catch. They request everybody 18 and over has to have a background check. So that's
bingo.
Gonna,
so this is the kind of stuff.
I'm not going to name any names. I got some Republican friends, ex-mayor of Downers Grove, that were defending Barnett because they have a relationship with him. It's like, you know what? How are you going to stop this? What are you going to do to control it? He's doing what all the other suburbs are. No, Barnett's not. He's doing nothing.
No, he's doing nothing.
He's doing nothing. So from Hinsdale to Joliet, through New Lenox to Oak Lawn, all over the place, they're putting restrictions in. But Barnett, because he's a liberal, because he's worried about all the liberals.
claims
that
he's a
move.
Republican, by the way.
And so he's going to kowtow to them and put the safety and security of his residents.
In
you should
jeopardy.
err on the side of your residents, not illegals. You should err on that side.
Bingo.
But you're not.
Bingo.
And then you're lying about everything else.
He's lying. You know, I'm not. One of the things I said is it's about safety. Like, right. Like and we're going to, so, you know, we'll expand on this next week. This is going to be a big part of our show next week.
Yeah, Barnett, we're going to highlight you.
We're going to show these interactions because that was a city council meeting, and so we're going to show those interactions. We're going to put we don't have to tell you what his words are next week. We'll show you what his words were. But one of the points and we'll show you what I said.
Jason's got some cool memes coming out by next week
for sure. But one of the points I made was it's about safety, right? It's about safety, and I pointed out that, like, listen, I know a little bit about safety. I fought in a combat zone, right? Safety is precautionary, right? It's not reactionary. Because when you enact safety measures as a reaction, that means that somebody got hurt or something bad happened. So that's just common sense.
Yeah.
Like, if your argument is about the semantics of the term illegal and that you're okay doing what you're doing because they're not technically illegal, which I would argue, that has got nothing to do with the safety of your citizens. And I would argue then you're the one making it political because you're saying, well, you're arguing about the semantics of a term instead of addressing the point that you don't know the background of these people. And then furthermore, you said they were all moving on, and they weren't. Military-age men did not go to Chicago. They got in a car with Florida license plates, and we have no idea where they went. Perhaps they're in our town now.
Yeah,
and perhaps they're not safe people.
So I know about safety as well. So not from a military perspective, but think about it. Going down to Little Havana in Miami in the late 80s, going to a hotel, meeting a bunch of Cubans. You got to make your guys, you got to be strapped to make sure you're safe for your guys.
Damn right. Damn right.
A little different safety.
But
you got to
precaution,
make sure.
right?
Yeah.
You took precautionary measures.
No, we don't. They're good guys. Well, we'll trust these Cubans. And they came in the boat lift in 79. Same thing, kind of.
Yeah, damn right.
When they came, if you guys remember, you're too young. Do you remember?
Yeah. No,
I was in high school in 1979. So Castro,
yet.
Jason knows, Castro opened up all his prisons. This is called the Mariel or boat lift or something like that, right, Jason?
Yeah, I don't recall the name.
Those Mariel boat lift, and they flooded Miami, and then that's when the 80s and all the crazy stuff
Coke
happened.
Built, like craze game,
fucking,
yeah.
and
You know a little
it was
bit about
kind
that,
of
right?
scary. So yes, you don't go in and assume that you're safe and assume that these people that are gang members and illegals from all over the world are coming into our city or multiple cities, and you're safe. You err on the caution of your residents.
Right.
And Barnett is too clouded by liberal retardation that he is not doing that for his own citizens or the surrounding community.
No, yeah, and and again, we're going to show all these interactions, and you can hear it in his own words, but the condescension with which he spoke down to the concerned citizens who spoke at that meeting was concerning, because it told me that he was more concerned about being right and his authority than he was about the safety, because he never addressed the safety, and that's an ideological position, Terry. That has nothing to do with pragmatism. Right, with like we've been talking about keeping your citizens safe, and that's the problem we have in Illinois. Is like all these people care about is their own authority. Right?
Yeah, it's like, think about it. You're gonna have people walk in your house. You have no idea who they are with your family. Come on and check out the house. Oh yeah. Oh, you sleep on the train tracks? Yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, honey.
And my wife and kids will be like, "What are you doing? Who are these people?" Like, no.
Worry.
Listen,
They'll be all
hey,
right.
listen. I saw him sitting out there. I'll take care of it. No, I mean, my wife would kick me out of the house with him.
Yeah. So what do we got next here? My ADD is kicking in.
Yeah. So okay, we'll move on to the next segment. On this note, Terry, you did some more investigative journalism, right?
Thank you.
And
wait, do you know where I learned that from? So I'm from the Southwest side. So I went to Moraine Valley Junior College for 12 years, and I took a journalism class for one semester. I quit before the end, but I learned how to be a journalist from the Southwest Side Moraine Valley Junior College.
There's a nice little plug.
12 years. I went there.
Yeah, nice. 12 years? I know a lot of people who went to college for 12 years. They're called doctors.
And so I tell my wife, between that and I did get my degree at Elmhurst in 2 years at night. I had 14 years of college, and she's got a master's from University of Wisconsin. I'm like, I got more education than you and my doctor friends.
Well, you had a 4.0, right?
Yeah,
like
just like in high school.
0.2 or whatever it was.
My kids are on honor roll students, right? And I said, Dad had a 4.0 at Oak Lawn High School. 1.0 freshman year, 1.0 sophomore year, 1.0 junior year, 1.0 senior year. You add them together, 4.0.
Oh, and you wonder why this guy ended up in prison. Just kidding. No, just kidding.
Didn't take me 3 times to learn my lesson.
Strike one. All right, so we have a pretty good video to give you some perspective about how some of the people downtown are feeling about the immigrant invasion, and gives you some good perspective. We got a veteran in there, right? I mean, we can't even take care of our veterans, yet we're passing out, Visa gift cards and letting
USA
people
jackets,
USA jackets, letting people stay in hotels. We're paying for all that, but we can't take care of our veterans, which is a sore spot for me. But Jason, you want to play that video for us?
My people of this country, and we're under attack. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is
Now you got the intro in there again.
Where busloads of illegal immigrants are being dumped off in the western suburbs. Mayor Brandon Johnson made it a law that if you drop them off in the city of Chicago limits, they're going to impound your bus and fine you. He only did that for political purposes. And we're going to show you why in this video. He is fully aware of what's going on. These buses are being dumped off full of illegal immigrants. They're getting free tickets on the train, the metro train. And then you're going to be surprised to find out who greets them when they get off in the city limits. Union Station, Ogilvie Station. And you're going to see images that will surprise and shock you and show you evidence that Mayor Brandon Johnson and the Chicago suburbs are all colluding with our tax dollars to pump the city full of illegal immigrants and gang members.
Have you seen migrants dropped off here?
Hey, I can't answer that question by you snapping a picture. I don't want to go.
You don't want to do it?
Yeah, I don't want to answer that.
Yeah, this is the landing zone. That Pritzker's given 160 million now. This is where the warming buses are at right now today.
Actually, a question, and then I'm on camera.
This guy was scared to talk to me. He did talk to me without my camera up. As soon as I whipped out the camera, he got scared.
Here's the Ogilvie train station, which is a very short walk to 800 South Splains Avenue, where that bus station was located at. So they must get dropped off here and get buses over at that.
Sorry about the voice. I had COVID throat at that
migrants
time. I had COVID before Christmas.
get off from all the suburban train stations from the metro. So it's New Year's Day. Let's see if there's anybody in here.
Excuse me. Do they drop off a lot of immigrants here? They get off the train station? Where do they come in?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know. But they did drop them off here.
Okay. Up there? Did I go upstairs?
Well, the trees come from up there.
Okay.
Well, here's where they all get off.
This is just one
Being
of
it's
two
New
train
Year's
stations.
Day, I guess everyone's taking a vacation from invading Chicago. These are a lot of the suburban locations where they're dropped off.
Next, you'll see a homeless lady. There you go. I felt bad for her.
Yes, in fact, like a whole truckload of them one night in the back of Ogilvie. I'm homeless out here, and I literally don't understand how we have people. Of course, it's America, it's the melting pot, right? You know, people come here from all different countries. They come here to build their businesses, make families work. You know, that used to be the American way, but we're homeless out here. People are out here, American people who are from Chicago, and we've been on housing lists with CHA for 2 years, and we still don't have housing, let alone have like hotel rooms that they're giving people, like the services that they're giving the Venezuelans and the illegals. They're not giving it to us as like they're not pushing it. Like
it's unfortunate to see people in Chicago that are sleeping in the train station like this, while we have illegals coming here, being picked up and put in hotels, given food, phones.
Remember today, these illegals were complaining.
Have you seen any immigrants
they
that
were
have
on
been
a bus
coming through here?
Sure.
Yeah. Looks like you're a veteran, sir.
Yes, yes, I am.
Yeah. Thank you for your service. Appreciate it. Do you know that they're dropping them off here, taking them, putting them in hotels, clothing them, feeding them, giving them phones?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, here I am, I'm a veteran, and I got to fight for everything I want. And now you got all these people coming in. It's not my problem. They need a better place to stay. Take over your country. Put those people out, and then you don't have to come here.
After I talk to you,
When they drop off,
yeah, and then we'll stop.
when they drop off the illegals, they come through here. The illegals, they're coming in from the suburbs. The bus loads, they drop off and they take trains in here.
Yeah, they'll come in on either side.
Yeah, and then do they have people picking them up?
Sometimes, yes. They been in Hawaii.
I live in the suburbs and they're dropping them off.
Okay, stop it.
Bus loads by my house. And
Chicago's gonna win.
All right, so just so you guys know, right? That last little piece is Officer Ruben Gomez. Oh, he's a patrol captain with the Metro Police. Here's the card he gave me. And I think you guys might have saw, because some of this stuff we filmed before, right? And so you heard and you saw Gomez lie to me. Because as soon as this clip's done, and we'll show it again, I was there. This is New Year's Eve evening. And I went up to talk to him, to ask him, because we saw they have handlers on the other end when they drop them off at the train stations in Downers Grove.
Yep.
And then I'm like, okay.
Military-looking guys.
And those guys didn't get on the train. So I'm kind of curious.
Right, that's right.
And I went up and I'm like, is there handlers? And you guys heard him, right?
Yeah.
What he said, sometimes why? Like, as if I shouldn't ask that. You know why?
Right.
Because that guy was there to be their handler. He was going to greet. He did greet him. We'll show you that. So he lied to me. He lied to me. He knew.
So the cop, right? The cop was the one taking it in.
So as soon as I sat down, right after that little piece there, the sliding doors of the platform open. All the Hispanics come out with the Salvation Army blankets over their shoulders, and guess who's there? Officer Gomez was there, and he greeted him, and he I don't know what the hell he said in Spanish. I can barely speak English, and so he took him. And then we're going to show some new stuff that you haven't seen yet today. I requested the body camera images of Officer Gomez. And he, so the city of Chicago, they only gave, well, it's Metro. It's the same thing. I mean, Metro's, it's all the same shit. All the same
Transportation Authority.
Polluted, liberal shit, right? They all are.
The system is supporting it.
Don Krause, I'm sorry, I meant poop. I'm sorry. It's like I'm doing much better.
We get we hear your feedback.
Yes, so I'm trying to follow. It's hard.
Paul, we really like your show, but if you could try to convince Terry to, hey, listen, I just want to let you know.
I'm trying.
I've told him to kind of clean up the potty mouth, Terry.
It's better than it was.
Gosh,
right?
we've had pastors on the show.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So
anyway,
the guy was full of poop.
Hey, we're sorry, Pastor Mark Powell, Pastor, what's his name?
Lee.
Pastor Lee. Yeah. Our
Don
good friends.
Krause. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
He's getting better.
Remember, it took me 12 years to get out of a 2-year college, so I'll get it soon. All right. And so I requested. I did a FOIA for the
12 years, 2 prisons, and a partridge and a pear tree.
I did a FOIA for the body cam footage, and I just got it back today. And Jason edited some of that stuff for you guys. So I asked from before I interacted with him when I got that conversation with him when they were getting off the platform, right when he lied to me. And I actually started my request in the FOIA 15 minutes before that to try to see if we could hear him interacting and knowing, right?
Nice.
And so what they did today is they only sent me from that point where you saw me talking to him. They did not send none of that footage. They said they didn't have to release it. The only footage I got from the body cam came when they walked out of
the
Union
station
Station
right.
to the bus the bus.
Weren't they telling you that wasn't?
They said they're not
public
allowed
property?
because they said it's a lie. So I'm gonna appeal it. Yeah, they said about victims and all that. They're not victims.
Yeah,
they're illegals.
Well, and
victims of trafficking.
well, that's true.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
If they're not victims,
They chose that, but they're not victims. They're not like victim of a crime, right?
they are.
Well,
They might be a victim of circumstances.
Well-
remember the Three Stooges?
You know,
Remember that, Jason?
They're victim of fraud.
Yeah.
Right?
So
They're victim of a
so you know
fraud.
who's the victims? It's us paying for these people.
It's our
us.
kids' future.
We're
our
victims.
kids' futures. Our kids are the victims. I mean, we're the victims presently. This is not sustainable economically. This is not sustainable. This is from an economic standpoint, that's the biggest impact. This is the destruction of America.
Yeah. Hey, before we go, do we have any commercials for IFA or anything? Or did you forget about that? Your wife? Did you forget about your wife?
Our producer.
I get bitched. Oh, I get sorry about. Oh, where's our commercial from Andy? Oh, it's Jason's fault.
There it goes.
Okay, here comes a commercial for Illinois Freedom Alliance. Want me to read? All right, and then
So Jason's going to get the footage of the body cam of
by the way, thank you to Illinois Freedom Alliance, good partner of ours. Please go to their website, call, support. They're doing some good work for Illinois, trying to save us from the communists.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ruben Gomez. He was respectful to a degree. He kept trying to get my name and all this other stuff and saying I'm being cordial. He gave me his card, which he did, but I was being cordial the whole time. I wasn't being disrespectful, rude, or anything. And they were trying to, his boss, the sergeant, I forgot his name, was trying to harass me and telling me I couldn't film. So I was a little pissed off about that, but I didn't. I was respectful to them, and he's telling me I'm being cordial, and I'm being cordial with you just because I'm not giving you my last name. I mean, I know this is going to be out there, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, screw you, buddy. I don't have to give you anything. I'm filming in a train station. Right. So,
do you want to put that back up, Jason?
So,
do you want me to read? Is it the denial portion?
Yeah, read the so
scroll up, Jason.
Because I can't read this. I don't have the right
okay,
glasses.
that's good. So, all right. So this is from the FOIA. This is the FOIA response to Terry trying to FOIA the body cam footage. So, the denial portion: 1, officer worn body cam video containing encounters with various subjects is withheld under Section 7.5 EE of FOIA, which exempts recordings made under the Law Enforcement Officer Worn Body Camera Act, except to the extent authorized under that Act, 5 ILCS, blah, blah, blah. Accordingly, the body cam footage retrieved from the Metro Police Department is withheld in its entirety from disclosure under the Law Enforcement Officer Worn Body Camera Act. The Law Enforcement Officer Worn Body Camera Act states that recordings made with the use of an officer-worn body camera are not subject to disclosure under the Freedom of Information Act, except that if the subject of the encounter has a reasonable expectation of privacy at the time of the recording.
Illegals in our train station.
Right.
Go ahead.
Any recording which is flagged shall be disclosed in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act if A, the subject of the encounter captured on the recording is a victim or witness, and B, the law enforcement agency obtains written permission of the subject or the subject's legal representative. 50 Illinois, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so they're not victims. They're not witnesses.
They are witnesses of.
They're not victims. They're not witnesses of any crime. They're not a victim of a crime, so they don't have to hide their identity.
Right.
You know, that would put them in risk, right? And we don't know who they are. They don't. Well, they do have a list. They knew who they were. They had a list they checked off, so they knew ahead of time who they are. But with respect to filming these people in public that shouldn't be here illegally, they don't qualify as a victim of a crime that needs to be protected in a future court case. And
But
that's
that
what
says
that's about.
a lot. That says a lot right there about, you know, how the system is handling this, right? How they want to obfuscate, how they want to keep, you know, everything. It's like, how can you possibly deny what's going on? And you try to get some body cam footage, and even in this short and small encounter of a citizen journalist at, you know, the Union Station in downtown Chicago, they will obfuscate the truth in this small incident. This is not even a big. We're not even a big organization, media organization, and they're going to try to hide the truth from us. This is like in New York. Did you see that thing in New York where they're closing down a school in New York to house illegal immigrants, right? And there was a mom who was trying to film it. I mean, this is on Twitter. I can't remember the name of the school, or Twitter X. Sorry, this is a post on X, and they're closing down a school to the existing school children so that they can house the overload of immigrants coming into New York City. So, you know, they were trying to keep this woman, this mother, taxpayer, whose children go to this school, from videotaping it. So, like it's not going to get out that they're filling a school in New York with illegal immigrants. And this is the extent that they'll go to, right? And we got it even down at the local level where they're going to deny that they can do anything, even though there's towns around us that are enacting ordinances and keeping people from coming in. They're going to deny that it's a problem, Terry.
You ready, buddy? Jason.
Yeah, with which one? Oh,
Yeah. Let's play the FOIA video of the cop.
Totally skipped over that. Let's go into the next two-page counties. All right, here we go.
Medical marijuana guy. Can they hear me or no?
Yeah, do you want me to mute?
Yeah. Let me talk. Can I talk now? Okay. All right, you guys are going to see Officer Gomez blocking traffic here. And then I can't hear her myself, so hopefully they can hear. There you go.
Guys. No, don't worry about me just yet.
He's telling her not to worry about me yet. Listen, my mic's hot, he's going to say. Looking for a cop. He's got like tattoos on top of his hands and his knuckles and the sides of the neck. So kind of unusual for a police officer.
I didn't notice.
Garo hit one of the boy. I'm hot.
You hear that? Because his boss
I'm hot right now. Hold on.
He said, I'm hot right now. He wanted the sergeant to know that he escaped his cameras on.
Is he with them? All right.
Asking if I was with somebody else. So I'm by the bus. I'm not in anybody's way, so listen to this part up here. Again, this is the cop's body cam. This woman really didn't like me.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be sticking my kids in the
They're not.
I wouldn't be sticking my kids in the
Te puedo ver porque
I'm not mad at you guys. I'm mad at the politicians. I'm not mad at them.
Look at his adjustments.
Talk to the press people.
mean, those are the people I think that can make the decisions to fix whatever this is.
We got to pay for it. Right? I mean, not just these specific people. Everybody. I got gang members that I got off in LaGrange. They got flashing Latin King signs and shit at me, like a whole busload of Venezuelan guys with tattoos and shit. I see you got tattoos on. But I mean,
You never told me who you were, though.
I'm Terry. You'll see it.
Terry, where is
I'm
what
Southwest
media platform?
Side.
Really, whatever media platform you have your rights to do what you want to do. We do our best to keep just the privacy at bay. You know what I mean? And with that being said, I was cordial with you. I gave you my card.
Yeah, I gave you my name's Terry.
Terry, but what media platform are you looking for?
Why do you care?
Because maybe I want to see it.
Okay.
Maybe I want to see it.
Okay.
Why do I know?
You know who Steve Bannon is?
Steve Bannon?
Just look up, it'll be on One American News.
Real American News. I made a little part.
The questions you're asking about, like the metro trains and the stations involved, that's something we can't give you.
I know.
Our media
I know you guys. Listen, my best friends are cops. I mean, I'm not mad. My grandparents are immigrants. My grandparents are immigrants. I mean, you know, both sides.
But he's going to tell you where to look to get the information you need, what trains, stuff like that. I mean, you can just calculate it on your own. Take a look. See what time it was. Look at the trains. Yeah, so.
No, I appreciate what you guys do, man.
But again,
I feel bad for these people. Like when I posted the stuff from Downers, we're getting mad at me saying I'm being nice to them. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to be a bully to them.
I understand where the sergeant's coming from when it comes to their kids. You know,
yeah, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not. We're paying for them.
But they don't. You didn't get any express written consent from them to say, hey, I want to be on.
My kids get filmed.
I want to be on.
Listen, I'm national attention for protesting pornography. My kids, they film my kids in the school.
I gotta get consent.
I mean, Antifa tried to. You'll know who I am. They're trying to. You know what Antifa is? They're trying to kill me. I've been in like multiple art because I don't want porn on my kids' school. I was a lifelong Democrat. My dad worked for the city of Chicago. I was a straight up worked for the city of Chicago Water Department. So my dad was just a laborer. He was a.
But still, that's a hard job.
He was, you know, I grew up.
I was telling my dad worked for the city of Chicago.
I feel bad for him.
And the buses actually have a contract with the city of Chicago.
That was very important.
A contract with the city that it can't be recorded.
You hear that?
Well, I mean,
we're going to have a contract with the city that can't be recorded.
All right, thanks.
Oh, then the cop said you can leave. Can you back it up a little bit? It's okay. You can leave. Like, what do you mean? Like, I couldn't leave anyway until you said it was okay?
Yeah.
Can you get that little bit? I talked over it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right, thanks.
You're good to go. What the heck does that mean?
I respect you guys.
Yes, sir.
Right?
The bus has a contract with the city, therefore they can't be recorded.
So, but when I heard him say that, I'm like, what do you mean I'm good to go?
What?
Who the heck are you to tell me I'm good to go?
He doesn't. You don't need his permission.
Listen, folks. So I learned from my buddy Jeff Mack. He's been on the show a few times, right?
Hey, Jeff.
Jeff told me those school buses are supposed to have transportation IDs and stuff. He drives a school bus.
He's a school bus driver.
And so I knew nothing about that. But Jeff noticed there was nothing visible on that bus to identify it, right? Transportation number or anything. But I was able to find out who owns the bus. It's Illinois School Bus Company Incorporated out of Crestwood, Illinois. 13939 Cicero Avenue, Crestwood, Illinois. Phone number 708-389-4545. 708-389-4545. So by day, they drive children around. By night, they drive illegal aliens, gang members to housing for the city of Chicago. And I found it kind of interesting that the woman from the Chicago Office of Emergency Management told the cops that in their contract, which I FOIA'd that, by the way, it says that they're not allowed to be photographed. How the hell could you put a contract like that in place? She's lying. I mean, we're on a public street, you know.
I found your friend, too.
What'd you find?
Oh my God! That's her. They're not allowed to be.
That's her.
they're not allowed to be videotaped because of that's what it says in their contract.
Good find, G.
First of all,
she is again.
It's the
our thumbnail last week.
She was?
It's the most ridiculous.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that is her.
Good find.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You're on a public street and you're videotaping. What, like, how about
She's trying to tell me to get out of the way off the side. I was not. You guys saw. I was being nice.
what, like, what are you talking about? What, does that mean, like, okay, if somebody was taking a picture and they were in the background, the bus driver would come up like, I'm gonna have to confiscate your phone because we're not allowed to be photographed. That's in our contract with the city.
Yeah, I said it over again. You saw me
that's
here.
That's not a thing. I guarantee that's not a thing.
You saw another time. I do feel sorry. I don't want the people here. If I could press a button, I could send all those families back. I would do it, but I'm not going to bully these people. I'm not going to bully the families, the mothers. Now the gang members and stuff, that's different. I will, when appropriate, I will get in their face, but I'm not gonna. I don't want them here. I know most of America doesn't want them here, but it doesn't do any good for me to try to be mean or bully them. Right? Well, it's not going to change it, and I just want to film it.
I don't think you're bullying them, Terry.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I had Republicans on my, responding on Twitter. We had 1 million people look at our video, and they're saying, "Why am I being nice to them? Why am I, why don't you tell them?" I'm not going to
because they're children.
I'm not going to do that to these people, right?
No.
I will do it to the gang member guys. So, when appropriate, you guys know me well enough. I will do that, but I'm not going to be mean or rude to these people that I don't want here.
Well, hold on a second, okay? Because this gets to the heart of the matter, right? When that cop was talking to you, he's like, "Hey, these are kids. Would you want somebody videotaping your kids?" And he was trying to pull on the heartstrings and take the compassionate approach.
I would never smuggle my kids illegally to another country, buddy.
You did, but my point is that like they're coming at it from the compassionate approach, and I say, hold on a second. These people are coming into our country illegally, and they're giving this false, hope that they're going to come here and they're going to have a better life.
Thanks to Joe Biden.
But what we come to find out is that they bring them in here and they throw them like garbage or cattle into big warehouses. We don't know if they have proper sanitation, or they put them up in hotels, and they're not like, who's managing all this? Who's making sure that these children are actually with their parents? Like, we're making all kinds of assumption based on this idea of compassion. Yeah. We don't know that these kids are safe. I mean, the fact that you're letting
we are compassionate conservatives.
This is what I'm trying to say.
I remember that from George Bush.
The true compassion here would be to say that we have to stop this unaccounted for, unvetted flood of immigration into our country. Having kids come into our country without vetting or ensuring that they're with their proper guardians, right? That's not compassionate. That's just saying like that anybody who disagrees with
thinking
you
about
is
being
not
compassionate. Let's do the close.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say a quick couple things real quick. So tomorrow night, I was supposed to be on Grant Stinchfield's show tonight, but I was bumped. Jeez, how dare him bump me like that? And I might be on there tomorrow. And we're going to, if it's not tomorrow night, there's going to be some big, pretty cool and exciting news. It's probably going to be national that I'm tied into with some other folks from Illinois. And you guys are going to like it. It's going to be kind of cool. And yeah. And then, so we got a big snowstorm coming into Chicago. Right. So I'm going to go illegal immigrant hunting tomorrow in the middle of a snowstorm with my truck. And I will be going to a couple different locations, but I'm going to try either.
You mean photographing?
Yeah.
And journalism.
I'm going to be doing investigative journalism from Moraine Valley.
Actually hunting.
Yeah. Yes.
Hunger Games or something like that.
Well, I'm doing that to be sarcastic, but and then I'm going to try to find some Chicago homeless people who are living outside in the weather and the cold, right? And we got these people today that were complaining about the warm buses and the bus station, and saying that you're treating us like criminals and we have to sleep, some of us sitting up. Well,
maybe
people
some of those
sleeping-
people should claim that they're from Venezuela so that they could get a hotel room
We got
downtown.
people sleeping on cardboard under viaducts and South Wacker and stuff, and I'm going to try to get examples of that because our politicians are putting these illegal people before our own. So if we could afford to take thousands and thousands of thousands of people, more than we have homeless, and put them up in hotels for 7 months or whatever, we should have had the funds to take care of these people before any of these illegals came here, and our veterans, like that one guy. So if we had the money for that, why all of a sudden are we finding money for these illegal people? So with that said, Paul's going to do the close. It's going to be a quick one.
Yeah.
Right, Paul?
All I'll say is, like, the last thing, to your last point, is like we can send $160 billion to Ukraine to fund a war that's got nothing to do with us. And we can pay for cell phones, for Visa gift cards, for hotel rooms, for clothes, 3 meals a day, for immigrants to be staying and being taken care of for 7 months at a time, I saw. But we can't take care of our veterans. We can't take care of our homeless people. We can't make sure that people are not dying from fentanyl overdoses. We can't take care of those people in Hawaii.
Yeah.
We can't give them their homes back, but we can give all these people, care, and we can give $160 billion to Ukraine. So what? We're gonna
to your point about you made me think of something. 3 meals a day that Paul just said.
Yeah.
So I remember in Joliet back in the 80s.
3 hots and a cot, right?
3 meals a day, no bills to pay. Hey, I likes it here. That's what they're saying, right? 3 meals a day, no bills to pay. Hey, I likes it here. And they had a TV and a phone. So these people are like doing the same thing.
Same thing. Living off the government dime. But you know what? That dime isn't going to go as far, right? The inflation and how much money we're spending on taking care of these people. Our own people aren't going to be able to take care of their families. So we're going to keep it up. Stay tuned. Next week, we got a great show for you. We're going to show you how we're fighting at the local level. We're going to call out our own mayor in Downers Grove and how he's not keeping his own citizens safe and he's lying about it. And we're going to show you how the spirit of this podcast is calling out all this stuff. And how you can fight back and the grassroots movement.
Look for me announcing something tomorrow night. Hopefully, I'll be on Grant's show tomorrow, and we can do it in a bigger way. What's that? What's that?
Share, subscribe, and comment. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. And thanks for being with us in the bunker behind enemy lines.